It's April 16th and we're in the garden. I wanted to give you a tour. Follow me. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. We're looking at the garden. So we come in, we've talked about the terraces and how we slow, spread, and sink water across the landscape. But here's the top terrace. So we'll descend down the hill and we'll see what's up. Look at these strawberry beds. So these are strawberries and asparagus immediately right as you come through the door. We have some beds, and this is all designed through like companion planting, permaculture, water harvesting, and then like square foot gardening, just on a very broad scale. So we can have all these plants planted at right proportions, and that keeps down on the weeding that we have to do. So we've got broccoli, we've got celery, we've got some eggplants are gonna go here. They're in the greenhouse, they're nothing there yet. But over on top of these berms, we've talked about like growing ability, green material that we can use to mulch stuff. I'll show you how we did that in a second. But we've got some like herbs growing. This is oregano, smells great. We've got some beautiful flowers so that as you drive by, every edge has like flowers, and that's good for the bees over here. It's really growing green biomass that we can cut, chop and drop, and use to mulch things, like I'll show you down here later. In past videos, you've seen how we've done the wheat harvest. So we're growing this as a cover crop. Also, we'll be able to harvest it. So it's green material. We've also got peas growing in here, which is a nitrogen fixing plant. So we're adding some nitrogen from the air and we're condensing it near the plants that we want to grow. Then when we cut the peas, it gives a more bountiful harvest without having to do fossil fuel inputs. There's 4,000 species of grass. They're all edible. Now we're not swallowing them, we're just sucking the nutrients and it tastes good. Get some sugars out the deal. We've done some spinach in this bed. We've done some radishes in this bed, but the onions are really popping off. These are red onions here. I think we did some wildflowers here. But we're probably gonna come back and finish tilling these rows and add some stuff later in the season. But right now, as we descend down a further terrace, we've got the gator here. The way we designed this area so that the gator can access everything. We bring plants out here, bring the harvest out, but we've got like 2 big gates and a road down. I'll show that to you before. But the guys are out here chopping and dropping, taking this green biomass from the berm, and they're mulching the plants that we've planted. So we talked about square foot gardening at the top of the hill. We've got green manure mulching that cuts down on the weeds. Those two together should really eliminate a lot of the weed pressure that we'll have. We've got mulch in these paths, and all these beds are on contour, mostly contour, so that when water sinks, it spreads out and waters all of these plants. We've got broccoli in this top bed, cabbages here, lettuce here, artichokes here, more broccoli here. Then you can see the wildflowers on the back berm. That's a good example. Hey, Mr. Sid. That's a good example of how we use wildflowers on the terraces. What we're working on right now is this tomato bed behind us. You see we're laying out the beds on mostly contour again, and the guys are chopping and moving that biomass so it'll look just like the beds I showed you behind me. And that'll keep down weed pressure, and then ultimately we'll stake these tomatoes up so they have something to grow and keep the tomatoes off the ground. That makes the produce really nice. Might do eggplants. We've got a lot of things to come out of the garden, but we're really running out of space. So we'll see how that matures and develops. Stepping down another terrace. This is the main road that comes through, and that allows us to bring like trucks full of mulch, like my left. It allows us to get in and out with the larger equipment. Ultimately, this road will all be mulch as we continue to dump it and move it to spread it out to make paths and stuff. But this is the accessibility lane, so we can bring tractors and whatever else we want. Stepping down one more terrace. Now we have area that's more like broadacre. In the past, we've had tomatoes and peppers in this area, but this year it'll be like corn and squash and beans, pumpkins, watermelons, stuff like that. And actually, if you look back up here, there's a line of daffodils that have bloomed and have looked really nice. We've got green material that's used for chop and drop, and that's a pretty cool thing. And I'm not gonna walk you down there, but we have another terrace that we're still, so we started intensively gardening up at the top of the hill, and this is like less worked area. So the bed down there is just cover cropped so that in time, it'll be a better bed. The soil will have changed through like biodynamic farming methods. Before I let you go, I want to show you a small food forest example that we have in this market garden. Now, you know, the forest handles itself through fertilization. And one of the ways that pioneer species take over fields is by using locust trees. This is something that in the area you should be really familiar with. But the locust tree is just like the peas we talked about in the wheat and peas up there. This is a pea family plant, and so if we chop the sides, we're releasing nitrogen from the tree and we're fertilizing the plants that we want to grow. In this case, we've got a lot of Jerusalem artichoke. If you look through there, it'll pop out to you. Also some berry bushes towards the back. But this is a little bit of a food forest example. Why did we do this here? It's because we had these locust trees volunteering, and we could of course dig them out, or we could show you how to get them out naturally. And what we do is we just, every year, we come back through and we cut off all the little limbs. And that is enough to diminish the roots, but not send the signal to the plant that there needs to put off more. We've assembled all these tips and more into our Spring Garden Success Guide. You can get it in the link below.